Hey, Bookworm Besties! I'm Cleo.
And I'm Carla.
And together, we are the Bookshop Besties.
And you're our Bookworm Besties. If you were to visit us at the Bookshop, you would then be...
Oh, yes, also a Bookshop Bestie.
Those of you who don't know, we are two best friends who bought a bookshop in Paso Robles, California. And we've been renovating it little by little over the last...
Almost 2 years.
2 years in April.
April will be 2 years.
That's
so exciting.
Crazy.
I know. Good job, Little Bookshop.
Yeah, Little Bookshop is really coming into its own.
And we're still going to probably rename it at some point.
At some point, yeah. We are going to be talking about our January read and to be read.
And currently reading.
Yes. Without further ado. Wait, can we hide them all?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Ready? That was actually a cool illusion.
That was cool. Good for us.
Good for us.
Oh yeah, let's try to get some ASMR.
Oh, my microphone's over here.
Oh yeah. Oh, and then.
Oh,
You're welcome.
You like that? Anyways,
All right.
I actually only finished reading one of these books. The other two are in process. So, do you want to go first since you've probably read more than I have?
I haven't really, but sure.
Yeah.
My first read of the year was Heat by Bill Buford, one of our OG Discord members, and I read this together. We did a buddy read, so shout out to The Good Stuff. I'll leave his TikTok info down below because he's got great book recommendations. Anyway, he actually finished this, and I did not because I didn't care. I just didn't care about it. And
what's
so
the
premise is this man is essentially having a midlife crisis.
And he's in heat.
He's in heat. He really wants to learn how to cook like a professional because he's a home cook, but he wants to kind of up the ante a little bit, which is great. And I love food writing, and I thought this would really be up my alley. It's kind of known as like a masterpiece of food writing in that realm of the writing world. And I just did not feel that way. It wasn't that I hated it, because I didn't. I just didn't like it enough to keep going. And I love food writing, as I said, like Julia Child, MFK Fisher, they're incredible. And he just didn't like live up to that level for me personally. And maybe it's just because I like female writers more or something.
Maybe you can't relate to the male midlife crisis.
Yeah, I think it might be kind of that.
It's nonfiction?
Yeah,
so it's like his actual midlife crisis.
It's his memoir. He's written about his interactions with a famous chef. So he becomes the kitchen slave, his words, of this famous Italian-American chef. And then it kind of talks about that chef's background as well. So it is interesting. It's just that, I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. And I was like, you know what, I have a lot more stuff on my TBR that I'd rather spend my time on. So I DNF'd it. But again, I just want to emphasize that I didn't hate it. I was just kind of neutral. It was okay. I got to like chapter 6, I think, and I was just like 50 or so pages in, and I was just like, I'm meh. Yeah.
That's sad.
Right. Yeah.
But it does happen.
Yeah.
This book, I finished it in January. I started it in December, and then I left and didn't read anything for 2 weeks. So this is Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. He also wrote Clara and the Sun, and that other one that I have at home about that old man in Europe in an apartment, and he's like really lonely.
Oh.
Someone tell me. I started reading that one too, and then I was depressed about it. So I stopped because I was like, a lot of the Japanese authors are either really, really wholesome or really, really not. So that's what this book is about. An island, not an island, it's like a little farm where these kids are being raised, and they go to school, but it's like it's a closed community, so they can't leave. They get shipments of like clothes and stuff, secondhand clothes, like once every month or once every 2 months. And it's about 3 kids in this community. I don't know if I should give spoilers. Because it's like, at the beginning, you know this, but they're being raised for organ harvesting. And so they know that. They grow up in this community where they know that that's their fate. And it's just like, It's like the narrative is you grow up, you donate your organs to their clones, so they're, their cloned counterparts or like whomever. And you go through 3 harvests and then you like pass away, but they have words for all these things, like different terms. And, they're all grappling with it differently and they all have very different views on life, but it's kind of, I'd say, like an analogy about our lives in our societies where we don't know that there's something better or there's a different way to live if we're stuck in one way of thinking. And that's kind of like what this book portrays. They didn't know that there's a better world out there because this is all they knew. They thought this is how life is supposed to go. Aww. And sometimes people are stuck in that. They're stuck in a job that they don't like. They're stuck in a way of living that they think is the only way. And this book reflects that, but it's I just don't like medical things like this. I don't like the concept of like organ harvesting or cloning, and it really disturbs me. So this was very disturbing to me, but really good. And you should probably consider reading about it if you don't want to actually read it. Just the themes are good. I think you would enjoy it.
I know it's a classic too, yeah, but oof.
Ugh. And I watched this movie as a kid, and it's different. The movie's different. And Andrew Garfield plays the love character, love interest, love character. And anyways, he's a cutie. So yeah.
Isn't Ella Purnell in that too as like a
So,
10-year-old?
yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Anyways, recommend it. Yeah, not if you're not in a headspace to read this, which I was not when I started reading this. I had to stop. I would rate it 4 out of 5 stars, just because that 1 star is I just don't like the ending was not the kind of endings I like to read about. I'll just say that.
Oh, okay. So when I said thank you next on Heat, to Heat?
In Heat.
In Heat. I said ciao, Bella.
Oh.
And I'm so glad I did that because I love Helena Frith Powell. She has also written 2 books, as far as I know, about French culture that I read years ago and have reread over and over. And I think she is just one of the best writers I've read, for nonfiction at least. This was her memoir about meeting or reconnecting with her Italian father, and she talks a little bit about all of the stepdads that she had throughout her life after her parents separated, and how she grew up in England and was kind of like cut out of her Italian family and culture entirely. And so she reconnects with her Italian dad and other relatives when she's 14. She just talks about getting to reconnect with that side of her and her family, and how her dad is such a character, and how just Italian culture is so different from English culture. It's just so fun. She's really funny, but she writes also about serious stuff too, and so it's like you kind of get this really great range of emotions from sadness without it being like disturbing necessarily. It might be a little bit triggering for anyone that has been through any sort of abuse, especially parental abuse, but it doesn't go into anything too hardcore. So like you read it and you get sad, and then she luckily moves on in a really beautiful way. I don't know, without sweeping it under the rug. But yeah, it's just really, really good. Highly recommend it. And it's got like pictures of her and her family, and I love it when they do that. Really cute. And yeah, it's really fun. And then she also talks about Italian food and art, and she goes to a few different kind of main locations in Italy and talks about how each of those places have a special impact on her. So it's like she goes back to those spots as a 30-something-year-old woman, I believe, and kind of reflects on her time there when she was 14 and compares it to the time that she spent there in her 30s, and it's just really fun. So,
and
yeah,
you're 5 out of 5. How much of the way done with that?
Oh, I finished it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I finished it the other day, and then I started this other one that I'll talk about next.
Awesome. Okay, this one is S'Unvitsam ku mosh arichi, which is let's learn with Santa Hedgehog. Or like Saint Hedgehog, like Mr. Hedgehog, essentially. This is a grade 1 Romanian book, and I know what you're thinking. Why? A, B, C, D. But this is a book about just like reading and understanding the Romanian language easier. So I obviously know how to read and write in Romanian. I mean, maybe not obviously. If you didn't know, I know how to read and write in Romanian and speak it, but I'm not very good at reading Romanian. Like, I read at a very slow speed. So I'm trying to get better at reading it quicker. I bought some books in Romanian when I was there, and this is just kind of a little workbook that'll just make it fun and easy to learn. And I'm also trying to teach Jake, and Cleo also wants to learn.
Yeah, we'll have to have study sessions together. That would be really fun.
And this one's funny because it's like the first first lesson is like ma, mama, ma,
Ma.
yeah, ma. So it starts very basic, and then it, it gets to like really advanced stuff.
So cool.
And this is a grade 1, so this is like 4 or 5-year-olds would be reading at this level, which I think is pretty good.
That's very good
For 4 or 5-year-olds. So I guess we're going on to the currently reading, and I'm reading, I'm reading IQ 84 by Haruki Murakami. I'm like a quarter of the way through this book. It's like 1984 by George Orwell, but darker and grittier and more explicit and more vulgar and not a light read.
Murakami loves boobs.
Yes, very weird sex scenes. He does love his boobs.
Yeah.
Can confirm already that we've experienced a few of those. But it was highly recommended to me by a few people when I told them that 1984 was one of my favorites. It's in terms of like classic literature. I just was very impactful for me as like an emo kid. Emo kid. I was like, yeah, so gritty and stuff. And so I don't think I don't know. I don't think I'll see if I finish this.
This has been on my list for a long time because I've heard it's great, but yeah, I'm curious.
It's like Ishiguro, but with boobs. Maybe not. I don't know. Let me finish reading it. It's definitely darker. It's interesting though. The page numbers are printed backwards on half the page, which I think it's going to make sense with the story plot. Yeah, because it's like flipped on one side. Anyways,
that's interesting.
No spoilers in the comments, please. But
no spoilers.
It's giving like kind of Cloud Atlas vibes too.
Ooh, okay.
Like, I'm like, I don't know, in over my head with these.
Yeah, you've got some big boys.
Yeah, but these ones feel like this is what I'm actually going to read. I'm going to take a break from this because I've just been reading too much not fun stuff.
I feel like I've been a little more on like the light-hearted stuff, which one of my next upcoming ones isn't that way, so that'll be kind of interesting. But this one is like an all-ages book, and it's been a while since I've just read a novel.
I think I've seen that before.
Anyway, it's called Hannah Green and Her Unfeasibly Mundane Existence by Michael Marshall Smith. I just thought it sounded cute and fun. I'm going to read the back because I'm only like 10 pages in, so I don't like have a whole lot of knowledge about it, and I just wanted to dive right in without learning anything else about it.
I like that.
So, Hannah Green actually thinks her story is more mundane than most, but she's about to discover that the shadows in her life have been hiding a world where nothing is as it seems, that there's an ancient and secret machine that converts evil deeds into energy, that some mushrooms can talk, and that her grandfather has been friends with the devil for over 150 years, and now they need her help. Ooh. And I just think it sounds really fun. Yeah, but it's for sure like a all ages kind of a book, so I don't think it's going to get very dark or like too spooky, but I think just enough to kind of keep me reading.
Yeah.
So,
and that's kind of nice.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was saying, it's been a while since I've just been like fully into a novel. The last one that I was like really, really enjoying, I think, was The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. It was just like a page turner, like easy on the brain.
There is a book that's actually on my TBR. I did not bring it. Jake just finished it. It's called Dark Matter. Have you heard of it?
No, I don't think so.
He said, it kept him enthralled. He finished it really quick. It's like one of those like suspense books that's not too scary, but
ooh,
we should read it.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Love that. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. It seems like it's going to be a good time. I do really like his writing style so far. It's kind of cheeky, which is fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
My lighthearted TBR read. This is the one we picked up in Santa Barbara in that box.
Yeah.
This is The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods, and it is, I actually did not even read the back, but just the cover alone, and I'm not going to read the back, is what drew me in.
It's so cute.
So, on a quiet street in Dublin, a lost bookshop is waiting to be found.
Ooh.
Like this bookshop felt like it was lost, and then we found it.
Oh,
great.
Lovely.
Yeah, that was fast.
I know, these next ones are like super fast because we don't know much.
That's fine. I feel like we've talked a lot about.
Okay, so after I finish Hannah Green, I am going to read Beloved by Toni Morrison. It's a Nobel Prize winner.
Yeah.
So I know it's about a woman that was a slave. She is no longer a slave. Her baby tragically passed away and is haunting this house. And yeah, and so all I know is that it's kind of like about the impacts that slavery has on a person's psyche.
So this is shortly after the time of Lincoln, thanks to this book that we found on the shelves.
Thank you, book.
Thank you, books. Thank you, Bookshop.
But yeah, I mean, I've heard that this is an absolutely incredible, obviously it's a prize winner, but it also won the Pulitzer Prize as well as the Nobel Prize. So
Wow.
Yeah, it's one that I feel I should have read a long time ago. You know, it's like one of those, and I'm like, you know what? Now's the time.
It's like a social requirement almost.
Yeah.
It's like the Diary of Hiroshima.
I need to read that as well.
That one's tough.
I remember when you were reading that.
That one's real tough.
Yeah.
Me and my Japanese depressing author gig.
Yeah. Oof.
But, you know, I felt like it was right after I saw Oppenheimer that I read the biography of his brother, Frank, and then I read the story of Oppenheimer, and then I read the Diary of Hiroshima, because it felt like it was
That makes sense. Yeah.
kind of down the road. And then I went into the Kazuo Ishiguro and like Murakami, thank you.
Yeah.
Haruki Murakami. They both, I think, touch on like post-World War II Japan in ways, like especially Murakami in this book, I think. I don't know though, maybe cut that out for now.
Okay.
Or maybe leave it in.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my speculation. Let me know what you guys think. Okay. The Silent Patient. Cleo has read this one. It's been on my TBR since before we bought the Bookshop.
Oh my
Do you remember I
gosh.
found this copy when, maybe not this copy, but maybe. No, yeah, this copy.
Aw.
When the Bookshop, it was here and I was like, oh, that's the book on my TBR. And so I like grabbed it to
so
read
cute.
it and it was sitting like right there. Like, and it's been on my TBR forever and ever. I read Verity that summer going on the boat when I was on a boat.
Oh, that's right.
And then I was like, oh, Silent Patient is next. So this was, I guess, right around the time we bought the Bookshop. But anyways, so I'm going to read it. I know a lot of people have been saying things. I actually didn't read anything about the back. I don't know anything about what it's about.
Okay.
And I want to keep it that way because I want to just read it and like not know. I know it's about like something happened and like the person who did it isn't talking or something like that. That's all I know.
And then after you read that, you'll have to read the other one that connects to it. I can't remember which one.
Oh,
The Maidens?
Yeah.
Is that the one that connects
Yeah.
to it? Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I know you read The Maidens.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I really liked that one because I love me some dark academia.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. I was looking at, because you're like, do you feel like you're more dark academia vibes or light academia vibes? I vibe with light academia a lot more, which works out.
Yeah.
Because there can only be one of each.
Yeah, obviously.
But I do like some dark academia themes, but generally I was looking on Pinterest, more light academia. So we've got that.
Cute. Yeah. We should dress
Yeah.
that way at some point for like a video or
that'd be
something.
fun.
Yeah,
That'd
be cute.
fun. Though the outfits are very, very similar.
Oh yeah,
I
yours
was
would
like-
just be lighter colors, basically.
Yeah.
Like
Anyways.
beige, cream, etc.
Yeah.
Lighter brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although some of the photos were literally like,
I know.
I was like,
there's so much overlap.
I know.
It's
and like
just
you type in like light academia and I was like, this is dark academia. Or, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, anyways.
Exactly.
They're just like academia and then they lump it all.
Which I think is just fine.
Old
We
stuff.
should just say like academia, in general, is a great
It's
aesthetic.
a great aesthetic.
Yeah.
But then, like, I mean, let us know. What do you guys feel like your preference is? Do you like more dark academia, light academia?
I also like both, or either or, depending on the time of year too. Like spring is so light academia, winter,
More
fall
dark.
is dark academia. So
Yeah,
so I guess I just should have also said summer is light. But
Yeah, summer is just hot.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't even.
I don't
think
think
about-
about aesthetics during the
No,
summer because
I just think
it's
about
so
survival.
hot. Yeah, exactly.
Oof. Okay,
Okay.
you're up.
My last one for January is 5 Tuesdays in Winter by Lily King. It's actually a collection of short stories, which
nice.
I rarely read short stories. And so I think it'll be a really fun, kind of quick read. I just love the cover too.
I know, the cover's super
it really, Yeah, it really drew me in. So I really don't know much about this whatsoever. just that it's a short story collection. And I've heard great things about Lily King. I haven't read anything by her before. That's all the info I have on this, folks.
And so I'm really biting off a lot for myself, but this is Brandon Sanderson, The Way of Kings, the first book in the Stormlight Archives. The last book of the Stormlight Archives just came out, Wind and Truth, which we need to order some copies for because people have been coming in asking for it.
Okay.
And my husband, Jake, whom you all love and adore, has been reading this series for like 8 or 9 years, and he's been trying to get me to read it for 8 or 9 years.
Aww.
And it was like the mass market paperbacks. It looked really bad. Like, look at this cover. Like, you see this on a mass market paperback, and you're just like, this is terrible. But it's fantastic, and now everyone thinks it's fantastic. So, like the little, what would you call someone? I go with the FOMO. FOMO, go with the wind.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's popular now, I want to read it. So now that it's cool. So yeah, but it is a hefty one. This is 1,000 pages.
Dang.
Almost. Let's see, over 1,000 pages. 1,007 pages.
Dang.
And they're all about this size, which is a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to read this month. Give me like 3 weeks to read all these. Or are we trying to finish these by the end of January?
I'm aiming to finish mine by the end of January, but I have a lot less pages to read.
I'm going to not finish IQ 84 right now. I'm going to just focus on Silent Patient, Lost Bookshop, and this one. And then the Romanian one is just kind of something I do in the interim. So
in February, we'll go over the ones that we read and give you more info on them and provide our new TBR. So
yes.
we'll...
And no no spoilers. Or if you're going to talk about spoilers, do like spoiler, ... and then like talk so people can spoiler for this book, and then people can have discussions in the comments.
Love that. You can also join our Discord community. We have like book-specific chats in there, and also just like a variety of channels to talk about whatever you're reading. And you can do buddy reads with people. If you like any of these books, or like are interested in any of them and want to buddy read them with us, that's another great way to do it, through Discord.
And we can also send you these books if you want. You can buy them through our website. Just DM us.
Yeah, our email. And we'll work it out with you.
Oh, really quick. Actually, I just remembered something. So TikTok might be getting ixnayed on the 19th, which means that all of our followers are going to be gone on TikTok. So if you follow us on Instagram, we're going to have to do a post about that, because like TikTok has been trying to fight it, and the government is just saying no, no, no. So it's set. If nothing changes on the 19th, TikTok will be gone, which means majority of our followers.
If you follow us on TikTok and you don't follow us on here, please do that, because we'll just be making shorts.
Yeah, shorts.
Shorts for YouTube, and then Instagram Reels. And we'll just have to pivot a little bit. But it's going to be, kind of the same stuff.
Yeah,
we are going to be focusing a lot more on like actual book content this year, but you'll, of course, still get fun behind-the-scenes bookshop stuff. It's just that a lot of our renovations are done now, but the bookshop isn't going anywhere, so we'll still be sharing a lot about it. So don't worry if you're like, wait, I don't want bookish content, I want bookshop content. You'll get both.
And we're still doing events, so we'll be like building stuff for that. And we still have to do the lights and the floors and a few other little corners. So there's like, the bathroom needs to be done, the back room really needs to be done, the pantry. So we have projects. Yeah. So don't go anywhere if you're egging for those.
It's just,
there just won't be as much.
It's just stuff that we're kind of saving up for or kind of waiting for the right time. Thank you so much for watching. Please share with us in the comments what your TBR for January is, and or what you've already read, what you've loved, what you haven't loved. We'd love to hear it, and probably add more stuff to our TBRs because of you. We'll see you next time. Thank you again for watching. Join us in the Discord, follow us on Instagram, and TikTok. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, and sign up for our email newsletter.
Oh yeah, we've got that coming.
On the website, there is a spot at the bottom to sign up for our email newsletter. You're going to want to sign up for that. First people to know will be the ones on our email. So, yeah. See you guys next time.